TYTSports, everybody. NBA action everywhere since Tuesday. It's been effing amazing so far. There's been a lot of excitement in the league. Yes, we know it's the middle of the NFL season, but we are big NBA fans, and that's what we're going to be discussing with you today. So since Tuesday, there's been a lot of bests and a lot of worsts.
Well, a lot of bests and worsts.
I'm here with
the
Jeremy Rucker, sports writer for rantsportsnumberfire.com. Myself, I produce the show. Jason Rubin here with you. Jeremy, what is one of your we should just call it favorite and not favorites, but what is one of your best favorite moments so far since Tuesday?
Best favorite moments. I like that.
Yeah.
You got to start with Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
it's not a moment, it's more of a person, but fear the brow. Fear the brow. He is a beast. I mean, it's been 2 games, but he's averaging 28.5 points, 16 rebounds, 6 blocks. Talk about doing it on both ends of the floor.
Jesus.
Guy's crazy.
6 blocks.
I mean, we know he was going to have a really good third campaign, but if he can keep this up, MVP?
He's going to be definitely in the contention for it.
Too soon to tell, but I am impressed.
I am very impressed by Anthony
He is
Davis.
a monster.
We kind of knew this was coming.
Not to this extent, though.
At least we had a little hint of it from the FIBA World Cup over the summer, which we have seen before out of
DeMarcus Cousins. Well, not before. It was the same. This summer.
This summer also. This summer also. I didn't watch too much of the FIBA World Cup. I saw enough of Anthony Davis though to know this guy is going to come back in his 3rd season, and he's going to be a powerhouse. He is the complete package. At least when it comes to an NBA player.
Especially an NBA big man.
The similarity I guess I see was when Andrew Luck was at Stanford, everyone would say this guy's the complete package, and look what happened in his 3rd season in the NFL.
Hey, that's a great comparison. That's an awesome comparison.
Now look at Anthony Davis.
Some intangibles translate to the next level almost immediately.
Unbelievably well.
And only get better with practice, and that's what you're seeing with Anthony Davis. He's big, he's quick, he's strong, he's smart, and he's doing
inside
it
on moves. It's
fun to watch.
Great.
And he developed this fantastic 18-foot jumper too. And then he did that in an off season. Remember his first year, he didn't have that much of a mid-range game. People were knocking him on it. He showed up last year just knocking down 15-footers like it was nothing, and he's doing it.
Now he's stepping back to 18. It's unbelievable.
Exactly. He's reminding me of is Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Who's also got
I think Davis is a little bit more fluid of a shot than Griffin. At least it looks more fundamentally
absolutely.
sound.
No. I'm just In terms of mechanics, it's much prettier. But Blake didn't have a mid-range jumper. Similar players in terms of size and height and positions on the floor-ish. And you're seeing Anthony Davis do it. He's knocking down that mid-range game. He's almost unstoppable on offense at this point.
Right.
And he's grabbing rebounds and blocking shots like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
So that is a best. That is a best favorite. Now, a worst favorite, perhaps.
Worst favorite, please.
We all know that I'm a big Lakers fan. I am born and raised in Los Angeles. I love the Lakers. They are terrible. They're a terrible basketball team.
You heard it here, not first.
Not first, and definitely
but
not
close
last. I knew this coming in. They have a really tough schedule to start. They're playing really good Western Conference opponents.
Right.
They're 0-4. If they end up 0-9 over the next 5 games, I'm not shocked.
Are you interested in buying an Ed Davis jersey?
I am interested in buying another Ed Davis jersey.
You have an Ed Davis jersey?
I have an Ed Davis jersey.
You're wearing that.
That is a bold-faced lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
So if you had an Ed Davis jersey,
do they sell Ed Davis jerseys?
I think you can get any jersey nowadays on the interwebs.
But their defense is bad.
Right.
It's better than last year, but that's not saying much. Their offense is also bad. The one lone bright spot is Kobe. He looks young-ish.
Oh my God, watching Kobe
He looks good. Yeah, Kobe yesterday was something else.
He was hitting everything though.
Until the 4th quarter.
Right.
And that's actually important to bring up because the game on against the Clippers on Friday. The game on Halloween against the Clippers was actually much less scary than I was anticipating for a Halloween game against the Clippers. They held tough. They were even up for a little bit, but
are you saying it wasn't spooky?
It was not particularly spooky.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is that okay?
Halloween reference.
No, I know.
Okay.
But I was expecting it to be spookier.
Spookier.
Yeah, less spooky than
almost
anticipated.
like Barbra Streisand vision from South Park, like season 4.
All right. I totally know what you're talking about.
Right, and I hope you guys do too. So we have a universal best/worst because we don't know if it's, and we don't mean best in the making fun of kind of way, but there was a collective no when Derrick Rose twisted his ankle in the 2nd game of the season.
It was an audible collective no.
It was
You could hear it. The announcers could hear it.
The whole city of Chicago.
It was kind of funny. Nothing funny about people getting hurt. That was kind of funny.
I heard the wind died down the second it happened. The wind stopped in Chicago because Derrick Rose went down. And unfortunately, we're going to see this with Derrick Rose every single time he takes an extra second to get up off the court. Every time he twists his ankle. It's basketball, guys. There's going to be twisted, sprained ankles every single year across a majority of the league. I mean, anybody who plays the game, pick up whatever it might be, and especially at the professional level, ankles are going to get twisted. It happens. We are hoping that Derrick Rose has as much of a full season as he can.
We all want to see him healthy. I mean, every NBA fan wants to see every NBA player on the court. That's why we watch the games.
And of course, as much as we'd like to see Joakim Noah be point center, we want to see Derrick Rose play point guard. As for myself, my worst, and this is going to be my specific universal worst every single Sunday when we do this. Every time J.R. Smith touches the ball, to me,
talk about collective nose,
is the worst thing I could ever see. And look, J.R. Smith, when he was Sixth Man of the Year, I just didn't believe in him because he takes off-balance shots every single time. And I was always taught when I played basketball, and I'm pretty sure many coaches teach this, square up to the basket when you shoot, because you're most likely going to hit more of those shots than more of these leg up in the air and chug it.
He loves it.
Oh,
he loves the fadeaways.
It's my universal no. And even when he makes it, I literally stare at the TV and I go, not acceptable. It's not acceptable. But on to the better, the more happy, the not as much harping on these players kind of stuff. The Golden State Warriors backcourt, my God, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Sometimes I feel like even though they'll shoot 50%, it kind of just looks like they're shooting 100% from the field. It's like every time they touch the goddamn basketball.
When they miss, you're shocked.
Yeah, it's one of those times. And when they don't really take low percentage shots.
I mean, if they get the ball off clean, it's a high percentage shot apparently, right? Because they like getting the ball in the hoop.
There was
and they're
one
really
play,
good at it.
It might be the Warriors 4, who I can't think of off the top of my head, but it might have been. Was it Spates or it might have been Bogut who was playing up top and he set a pick. And Curry goes underneath his arm because he fits underneath where the arm pick, he literally does. And he's got the ball and he turns, squares up, shoots in about 0.36 milliseconds.
Yeah, it shoots with the fastest release in the NBA probably.
And it just hits the net with the most crisp.
I know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Sound. And watching the Golden State Warriors, just their backcourt, as we said before, and when we talk about this in our everyday lives, they make up 50% of their team's points. They're probably going to win a lot of basketball games.
They're going to need to make 50% of the team's points. Yeah, if they're not scoring 55%, 50% of the team's points, that's not good.
Right.
I mean, that's where the points come from. Iguodala is a good defensive player. He's a good clutch player to have. I love Iguodala too.
Last year with the double crosser behind the back.
Oh yeah.
Right through.
Bogut's a great defender. When David Lee comes back, he's a good secondary or third option, I guess. But you need these guys to be shooting at the crazy percentages that they have been shooting at. And when it's working, it's fantastic. They're unbeatable. But as you were saying, there will be games where they're not going in.
Right.
And how many of games will there be? And when will those games happen? And how are they going to respond to that?
Exactly.
But I mean, you never, Steph Curry might only have 3 bad shooting games a year.
Knowing Steph,
and Klay Thompson so far this year, he might do that too. So I mean, it's very possible that they end up just not being cold.
It's very unlikely that both of them will be very cold at the same time.
And that's the beauty of it, because both of them are these A-game outside shooters. So you really only need one to be on. And if you have 2, like we saw last night against the Lakers, you win by 25 points.
It's hard to defend. And even if it wasn't the Lakers, let's say that was a
team of the defense?
A playoff team of the defense.
Okay.
25-point win, still, you're hitting that many shots, you're going to win comfortably. I mean, they put up 127 points.
Yeah, and
it's really, really hard to score
and Thompson and Curry
to beat that team.
had 71 of those 127
yes,
points. And maybe that's a little more, but that's about the ratio you're going to see when the Warriors win big or win against good teams.
Is Curry
and Thompson scoring a lot of points.
A huge percentage of their shots.
Huge percentage, yeah.
Amazing teams to watch. Any other best, worst, least favorite, great, terrible moments from the NBA that you would like to throw out there before we?
Well, there was a game on Wednesday, and it involved LeBron James.
The LeBrons. Okay.
Yeah,
the
Cleveland
LeBrons.
Yeah, he's back in Cleveland, so I hear. And sometimes when you have a big game, you start out the season, you want to rile up your teammates, you give a pregame speech, and his pregame speech was particularly terrible. They went on to lose that game to your very New York Knicks. I don't know if it was because of this speech, but It definitely wasn't in spite of it.
If we have to blame it on one thing.
If we have to blame it on one thing, it might be this speech. Anyway, I'm going to read it for you word for word. It's great. So here we go. Don't take this moment for granted. This is one of the biggest sporting spectacles in the history of sports, and we're part of it.
Not bad. Not bad.
And it has a lot to do with me.
Okay.
I understand that, but I wouldn't want to do it with no other guys besides y'all. Talk about a backhanded compliment. Hey guys, this is a really big game. It's mostly because people care about me, but I guess I'm glad you're here too.
What I find so funny about, I think, this pregame speech was like LeBron writes a really mature letter to Sports Illustrated, and it was really well thought out.
Yeah.
And like, oh, LeBron's not too bad of a writer. You know, whether we don't know if he had help or not, whatever it might be. But you know, it's like, okay, it's his thoughts and his feelings and his heart's getting poured out, and he can't put together three. Like here's a better speech in about 5 seconds. I'm so ecstatic to be back in Cleveland. We got Kyrie, we got Kevin Love, we have an amazing supporting cast, and guys, we're gonna be trying to win you a championship.
Remember
this year. Done.
That Nike ad?
Yeah.
He could have just taken things from that. Like, he could have just recycled those lines.
Just like go through.
It's written for you.
Can I get the script, please?
Yeah, I mean, okay. My question is, do you think he thought of it before, which makes it even worse? If he like had that in his head, like, oh, this is a good idea.
Can you imagine if he's sitting like on the bus to the game or like, driving into the game in Cleveland, he's just like writing on his phone like, I think we should go with, it's because of me. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, that's one.
I love LeBron. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
LeBron.
I'm going to say that it was a spur of the moment thing and he messed it up.
Yeah.
But either way, it's pretty hilarious, and it's definitely one of the worst moments of this week.
LeBron, win Cleveland one championship in your time there, and everything, this whole speech will be completely forgotten.
It might be forgotten anyway.
I don't know. It's such a great speech.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Today in greatest American speeches.
It goes up there with the Gettysburg Address.
It could. It technically could. So LeBron, don't worry, Cleveland fans, that team's going to click and they're going to be amazing to watch. They already are amazing to watch. But as for us and TYT Sports, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, please. It's free. We promise. You can see clips of us every day. Not necessarily just us, but our host on the main Monday through Friday, Ben Mankewicz, is coming back this week. We're very excited. So Jeremy, thank you for coming on.